I think it's a good opportunity and that I'm lucky to be here. It changes the way you work, and it's good to meet people in other countries and experience a different culture. I think I do agree that it's different to the work I've made in the past, but I think often I'm not too sure whether I actually wanted to continue making photographs, so just getting bored with seeing photos on a wall in a frame and not going much beyond that. So this is yet a different format for me, using zine, so it is a bit more experimental than what I have been doing in the past, but my work has always been kind of cynical, so it's kind of in the same line as that, but now I guess I found maybe using a different format for my work is more interesting for me than just fighting against trying to use just photography and video. But I don't think it's about confusion. But it is, I guess if I'm challenging myself, then it is about getting out of my comfort zone. But again, being in another country is also being out of your comfort zone, so I think it's kind of, it's inevitable that I'd be out of my comfort zone here. No, it's hard to think of an answer. Maybe it's just that I wanted to make something that was important to the culture here, because I felt like if I made work that I'd made in the past, that it would be misunderstood or not understood, or wasn't interesting for people here. And so, I did some research, and there's so many photocopy shops here, and there's quite a resurgence of photo zines in Melbourne at the moment, and here I haven't seen hardly any. Maybe there's a few that I don't know about, because it's hard for me to also access the culture because I don't speak the language, so I'm sure they exist, but I don't think as many as in Melbourne. So I thought it was interesting to maybe access a part of the culture which is photocopying, which is common and everyday practice, and you're copying books instead of buying them, and then also to try and make people think about how else can you use a photograph, and you don't have to make a book, because I think that sometimes people will go for that step first before starting small. It's because it's possible now to make a book anyway, really. Well, the workshop's part of the program, so I had to do a workshop as part of the residency, but the zine, make a zine library, why I made that was because after doing more research into the zines here, they're not really collected in libraries here, and so in Australia we have zine libraries and shops where you can buy zines from and stuff, but here that part of history kind of just gets lost, and I think it's a really important part of alternative history, underground music, art, politics, everything, and if you don't collect it in your libraries, then who collects it? And the public can't access it. So I thought to make this library and then to donate it to Kunchi, at least people can then access it, and maybe it starts the libraries being aware of collecting. I think C2O libraries start as collecting zines and stuff, but I don't know about the national libraries here and stuff, if you have collections of zines. But, and the collaboration, I chose to collaborate with 9 female artists because, just to, I guess it's more about sharing culture. If an artist residency is about cultural exchange, then shouldn't you exchange your ideas with someone else? And I think collaboration is a good challenge also, especially if English is a second language, it makes it a little bit difficult, but it's still good. Well, they're all slightly different. So one is with my sister who lives in Australia, where I live as well, but when I was over here I emailed her after she'd sent me a photo that looked similar to mine, and so I thought, that's interesting, maybe we can do a project where she sends me her photos and I see if we have any the same, and it turned out there were quite a few, so we made a zine out of that. But the other projects is more either people I met with and I became friends with while I was here, and who are artists or writers or musicians or anything really, and just having that personal relationship with them. And then also I got some suggestions of some other people. Oh, maybe you should also work with this person, they're interesting and maybe good for your project. So I emailed them and then met with them, and so some of them I've known for maybe 4 months and some only like 1 month, so it's different every time. Well, maybe I'll start with the library. So I asked my friend Achong to help me, and then I copied his zines, and then he put me onto Bayu, and I copied his zines, and then I met with Dina and she told me to contact Manus, and so then I copied his zines, and it kind of was like this spiral effect where you tell someone and someone else tells another person, and then it was just kind of going to the photocopy shop with someone who could speak Indonesian so they could explain how I wanted them to copy it, and that I want them to copy it exactly the same, like in colour or with the coloured cardboard covers, and then stapling them all together and making sure they're in the right order. So that was interesting and more time consuming than I thought. With the workshop, I'd never done a workshop before, and I'm freaking out a bit because I didn't really know what I was supposed to do, and I just put like paper, scissors, glue, kind of anything you'd need to make that cut and paste zine, and provided a printer, and just put out the poster, and then some people registered, and the first day was supposed to be photo zines, but it didn't kind of go as planned because not a lot of people. We only had a black and white printer on the first day too, but not a lot of people brought photos with them. So a lot of people end up doing collage and that kind of thing. And then the second day was mixed media, and so people collaging again. And then the third day was collaboration, so trying to get people to work together. And it was really fun. People stayed longer than I anticipated, like started at maybe 3 o'clock, I think, the workshop, and then finished at 6, but people would stay till 12 o'clock at night and just hang out and have play music, and and then with the collaboration, it was pretty loose. I think I guess I didn't really know how to go about coordinating it because there were 9 different people, so I kind of would set up these separate meetings, try and talk about what we'd do, or for example, like one girl, Ita, lived in another city, so we'd be emailing each other, and there was so much miscommunication, and we'd talk over Skype and then the connection would be bad, and then when she got to Jogja, she had this like amazing amount of work that she'd done, and I was still confused about how we were collaborating, and so she was too, but now that she's in Jogja and the Open Studio started, I understand the ideas that she was talking about, and I'm starting to make my response to her work. And a lot of the collaborations are quite different, like, so that one is like responding, and then me and Laurie with the scenes where we're taking photos is like we're both doing the same thing but then combining it. So there's a few different methods, but then towards the end everyone started coming to Mes when the space was empty, and now we can all work together and finish our zines off. So I think so. And it's funny that Open Studio actually looks kind of like an exhibition, even though it's not quite finished yet, like because we've put some installation like objects that we've been thinking about or using, or that we'll utilise, for example, like me and Nita are doing the mix CD, or Ellie bought some spices which will be sticking inside the zine.